Hey everyone, this is Karlis from Amalgam Audio, and today there's some really big news in the amp capturing world, and that is that IK Multimedia just released ToneX version 2. So what's it all about? The main feature is there's a new algorithm for the captures themselves, or tone models in IK Multimedia language, and this elevates the accuracy of ToneX captures, which were really high to begin with. And from the get-go, it was one of my favorite platforms, and I'm a big supporter and fan of it myself. So this elevates that even further, and until this point, NAMM was probably the reference in regard to authenticity of the tones, and now ToneX comes very, very close to NAMM. I haven't done scientific tests or in detail comparisons. I'm just going by the by ear, by the impressions. There's a lot of improvement in the low end response. The original ToneX captures had a tendency to cut a bit more low end. There's also more of this high end frequency stuff going on. There's a lot more harmonic content in there, similar to NAMM. And this is where NAMM shines. It takes all the fizzy, nasty stuff that amps, when they're cranked, exhibit. So NAMM captures that really, really well. And ToneX version 2 is a very, very close match to that, at least to the ear. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of content with comparisons by other people who will post that very soon and who do this kind of thing really well, so I'm not going to go into that. And my best testament to ToneX version 2 is that yesterday I had 2 hours time to prepare a demo. For the first time, I had so much time at my disposal for this kind of thing, and the sounds of the captures that I've done with ToneX version 2 were flat outright inspiring. And the tone was simply, analog sounding. It was there's nothing missing in there. There's all the low end that you have in the original amp, all of the harmonic stuff that's going on, and it has the visceral punch of some of the amps that exhibit that in real life. And it was really plug in and be happy. And this is not a focus of this video, but for the first time I actually gave the effects that come in ToneX a chance and tried them out, and I'm really floored. And of course there's a context to that. They had to make those effects work within the framework of the existing hardware so that it can pull it off. So of course there are some more authentic sounding delays and reverbs and whatnot in plugin format, or maybe pedals even, but those effects really work. They're really musical, and one of the most amazing features of them to me is the way how they handle the stereo effect. It's maybe even my favorite I've heard so far, how the delay and reverb, how they do the spatial movement thing. It's really tastefully done, so kudos to IK Multimedia for that also. So, and the sound that you heard in the intro, it's entirely ToneX. There's nothing else going on there. It's just my capture of the 69 Subilee, a delay and a reverb from ToneX, and that's it. It sounds like it sounds like a record, and I find it simply amazing that nowadays you can put down like 150 euros for a ToneX one pedal and get this software, and that's that. You have this sound at your disposal on any venue. I find that simply amazing. And it seems to me that IK Multimedia is, at least in this field, the only company that seems to constantly over-deliver. So they added effects later on the existing hardware, because they found that there's some resources left to do that. fantastic. And now there's ToneX version 2 on the same software platform, on the same existing hardware. It's just a software update, and that's it. You're on the next level. It's not, wholly new platform where you have to buy new hardware and all that. So, yeah, that's great customer service, I would say, and I value that highly. So another thing about the version 2 captures, which I find amazing, is the dynamic range of the captures, how they respond. So the clip you heard is entirely just one capture. I didn't even touch the volume control. It's really responsive, so you can go from clean to basically lead territory with the same capture easily, which is quite a feature. So that aspect is also really well delivered with this version 2. So yeah, it's pretty much amazing. So let's take a listen to this capture one more time. Let's turn off the effects for a moment, so you can hear the dry sound. Yeah, I'm really floored. It sounds like my Plexi, like my Subilee amp. Also, the usability of ToneX is really great at this point. So the other big news is that there's a new modeler for ToneX version 2. It's now a separate app that you load up and where you do the capturing process. And now finally there's something that creators like me have been waiting for a long time. There's batch processing, and that works wonderfully. And another thing, that's not a feature that you see, but if you create captures, you notice it instantly. They have optimized the hell out of it. So even though the captures are now more complex and more authentic, the capture processing speed is way faster. So it's really a huge leap in this regard also. So it's truly a version 2 by all means. It's a big improvement. Also, another thing, I haven't tried it out, but that's what is stated by IK Multimedia, that they automatically correct the phase for all the captures to be in the same phase. So if you are running currently a setup with multiple or dual ToneX pedals, for example, or ToneX instances, then you will automatically be in phase no matter what. So as far as I understand, that accounts for newly created captures with ToneX version 2. I'm not sure. Maybe the software can adjust also the older captures. I don't know. But either way, so the phase topic is something they've tackled, and it's great that they do it like in this way, that it's automatically aligned, which is great. So yeah, that's a great feature in itself, and I assume that this is one of the important steps towards something that inevitably will happen. There's going to be some next version of ToneX hardware which will be stereo, or there we will have dual amp setups, and this is where this phase topic is going to be important. So, but it's great that they already tackled that, because I've heard also from multiple customers that this is an issue, and it's not always easy to correct that. And so this is how the new modeler looks. Very simple interface. You create a new capture. this process of going through the wizard is basically the same. You configure everything the same way it was before, basically. In the beta version, there seems to be a quirk that I need to repeat this process of mapping every time. So, and that's it. Then you are in the usual screen that you already know. So it's all familiar. And after you've completed the capture, it will appear in the capture list, and you can pull it over to the training queue, and you can start the training in parallel while you're capturing the next captures. You can do it later on, you can do it in batches, however you would like to do that. So that is really user-friendly. As somebody who has creates thousands of captures, this is a game changer for me. So that's something I'm really happy about. So, and what we did for the release of ToneX version 2 is that we captured almost all of our amps from our collection, 2 captures per amp, and created in total 10 collections that feature those amps. And what you can get right now from us for the ToneX version 2 is the following stuff. So there's the vintage classics, as the name suggests. There's the typical Marshall, Fender, Vox, Hiwatt, Orange stuff. Then there's 3 boutique kits. Boutique kit 1 contains dual channel boutique amps. Boutique kit 2 contains single channel boutique amps, and kit number 3 is a lot of True Rock and Matchless amps that we have in our collection. Then we have the Fender and Marshall amp kits. For Fender we have 2 because we have close to 20 Fender amps in the collection. There's the high gain amp kit, and there's 2 amp kits for vintage treasures, which would be like, I don't want to call them off-brand amps, but the amps that are not as well known as the big 3. So yeah, that's what you can get right now from ToneNET from us. Those are full captures. Up to this point, we offer only full captures on ToneNET. And the reason is that there's currently at least no option for vendors to sell our custom IRs with those captures. So that's why I do not want to offer just the eyes without possibility to include our custom IRs, because the IR and the whole miking behind that and the whole process is a big part of how it sounds, and I do not want to risk the chance that customers will get an impression that is not accurate for the product. So at the point, if and when this will be possible to include IRs, we will also offer DI captures on ToneNET. So that's, if you were wondering, that's the reason why we do not do it right now. So those are full captures, but they are really, there's, if you're the kind of guy who likes just to plug in the guitar and get a great sound out of the box, this is really the way to go. There's no need to tinker with IRs or whatnot. So it's the most straightforward experience. And with this version 2, there's basically barely no audible difference between DI captures plus IR and the full capture version. The difference is, of course, if in the IR there's some residue of the room sound, that is what you will get with the IR. And obviously, if you need various scenarios for amping up those captures through real amps and real cabs and so on, then DI captures are the way to go. But if you're fine with out-of-the-box sound and need a all-in-one solution, this is a fantastic thing. One important thing to note is that for customers who have already bought our products from our website directly, we will offer this upgrade to ToneX version 2 of our products once they become available, slowly dripping down the pipeline. We would like to offer that for free. So it's definitely not going to be a fast process until I go through those version 2 ToneX captures, and but they'll slowly come around and will become available. Another prerequisite for that is that I need a new website that will actually allow that people get an automatic notification and a download link that doesn't expire in 30 days, which I then need to manually provide again, which is the current case with the platform I'm on. So there's that, and the new website has been long overdue, but now we're actively working on it, especially because of this feature that I need the ability to offer upgrades for existing products. So yeah, just something for you to keep in mind. So in case you're interested in some of the amps that are still, obviously all of them are still in version 1 ToneX, you can be sure that in the future there's going to be an updated version that you will receive. So now we'll try something new. We'll make a call with Fabian and chat a bit about ToneX version 2 and what our experience so far has been with that, and he's gonna play a bit and show some of his favorite sounds from the stuff we've done so far, and so that you can hear some of it in some really capable hands. So hi Fabian.
Hi Karlis, how are you?
Long time no see.
Yes. Nice.
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm great. Everything's fine, and some great news here, so it's exciting.
Interesting news, huh? What's that?
I heard something that happened with ToneX recently. So what could it be?
Yeah, a version 2 of ToneX, which is a pretty awesome news, and what I found actually quite amazing is that IK Multimedia did this on the platform they already have, on the same hardware that is already out there. It's simply a software update, not a new platform or a new product, and that's the second time that they over-deliver and give the customers more than they actually paid for.
Yes, amazing times. I mean, all these products get better all the time, and I'm really impressed actually how good it gets with your captures. I mean, your captures anyway are great and fantastic, but now, yeah, it's amazing. So thanks IK Multimedia.
Yeah, it's really fantastic stuff. So we already talked about this, of course. I haven't delved into a detailed comparison to NAMM, but from the way I hear it and feel it, it seems to be really, really close now. Like, probably NAMM is still the reference for everyone, but I feel like the version 2 of ToneX has approached that, so closely to a level that it doesn't matter much anymore. It's more like which workflow you prefer, or...
Absolutely, especially the feel. I mean, when you dig in the notes, when you dial back the volume, which already in version 1, let's call it this way, already was really nice. Now it's awesome. It really responds nice to the picking attacks, and it also has now, especially with high gain, all the upper frequencies and the low bass that was sometimes still missing in ToneX version 1, but now it's bloody fantastic.
Yeah, there used to be some, like, one could call it stiffness to the higher gain sounds, like some detail started to be missing the higher the gain got, including when you have a medium gain amp with a pedal in front. That was the same same issue, that it, got less and less accurate the more gain you put into it, basically.
Yeah, totally. And that's, I mean, most important for me as a player is the feel. And like you said, it doesn't feel stiff anymore, especially with those high gain stuff. Really detailed and response nice. Yeah, so big update, if you ask me.
Yeah, I agree, yeah. So I sent you a bunch of captures for the version 2 to test out and to do some demos. So I guess you didn't have a lot of time to play around with them, and but you went through a lot of them in the demo. Were there any particular favorites that stuck out to you?
Oh yes, totally. I mean, especially the Marshall tones, because I'm a big Marshall fan. And the first thing I noticed, what really surprised me, was the Subilee. When I dig in the strings, and I thought, man, that's now something really different, because I loved them already in the version 1 and they still sound great. But here is something like with when you stand in front of a Plexi and you dig in hard or you play very light and you get the same response. And that's really amazing. And that wasn't there before in this detail, let's say it this way, because it was already good.
Yeah, I agree. It's funny because my personal standout was exactly the same amp, that one capture in particular that I used also for the demo that I did for the ToneX version 2 video. And what I found is, yeah, exactly, the dynamic range is insane. You can go through a clean part and go slowly over to lead without touching even the volume control, just by your pick attack, and it's amazing. And it has all the kerrang that you attribute to a Marshall. It has, if you dig in like really hard, the response also accurately recreates how it gets brighter and a bit brusher in some sense. Or when you go soft, also the tone changes to a warmer side, which is just exactly what the amp does. And
yeah, and that is has so much inspiration when you grab your instrument and you have something like this. I mean, that's all you need for the moment.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Anything else? Any other favorites?
Oh Jesus, there are a lot of them. Also, especially the high gain stuff, like the 2C Plus. I'm a big fan, and now it really has some more dimension. I can really feel the transformer of the amp now a little bit more. And of course the Fender amps, so much great stuff you put out. I mean, you did 10 kits? Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff to explore still. But that's a good sign when you stay longer on one capture and not go from capture to capture. But today I'm going to play the Subilee, and the next day I will try the Mesa, and that's so much fun. And especially now that it's that these are full captures, you don't have to worry about any IR or any other stuff. So it's perfectly dialed in, like with all your captures. So you just plug in and play. And you can also use, like before, the equalizer to shape it to your guitar, but actually you don't need it because it just sounds fine.
Yeah, it's actually, for us, it's a moment where we recently reached 100 amps in our collection. And for this version 2 of ToneX, we did 2 captures of almost all of them. So it's 90 plus something amps in those 10 collections. So it's, basically all our catalog in the version 2 preview, so to speak, that you can test out and test the waters. And I've also found that amazing because some of the kits, like the Fender kits or the Marshall kit, you can basically go through the history of the amps and really get a good grasp how the tones evolved for Fender or Marshall. And it's really, also like from this historic perspective, you can really learn something out of it. And I did, because there's, I haven't captured so many amps consecutively in such a short time, and in the same recording style and environment as controlled as it was this time. So it really allowed to make some comparisons, and that was interesting.
Absolutely, it's like the kid in the candy store. Actually, you can choose now your own candies, what you like for the moment. And I'm sure, pretty sure that when some guys of you will test it out for the first time, the version 2, you will be shocked actually how much greater it sounds now. I mean, still the old captures are great, but this is something like a new dimension.
Yeah, I also found it amazing that the version 2 full captures that I did, they are now much closer to the DI plus IR captures that I did previously on
interesting.
version 1.
Okay, I didn't know that because
of course you don't have the room component in there, but that's of course missing. But it gets a lot more of the feel that you would expect from the real amp, and
Nice.
Okay, Fabian, it would be great if you could show some of our favorite sounds from those collections with your capable hands.
Sure.
What would you like to start with?
Yeah, I would like to start with the Subilee 100 with the Crunch 1 Fat cap. And at first I will play it just a little bit to show you how much dynamics you now get. And I will just start playing a little bit and then stop talking from now. All right. As you might hear, I did not use the noise gate because I wanted to show you how great you can really work with your pick attack. I will start very lightly and then open up to just so you can hear how much dynamic range there. Fantastic. From now I will switch off the plate reverb and we'll just play some chords and show you how it sounds bone dry. So for me, the perfect Plexi tone, if you ask me. Everything's there. Nice. So that was...
I agree. Sounds fantastic.
Great. So maybe we do some little bit of history from the Marshall kit. So let's drive in a few sounds. Not too much playing, just some chords just to show you the differences a little bit. And I'm going to start with the JT100 Crunch Balance. What do you think of it? It's a great plan.
Sounds great. Yeah, you can literally hear how this evolved over the time, so it's very interesting.
Start with the JT100. Switch off the reverb for a second. Very open tone, if you ask me, very vintage. Love it. Let's go to the next one, which is the Super Bass, the famous Rex. Let me find it here. It's the Crunch. Let me see, Crunch Bright. There it is. All right. Yeah, man. New in love with the racks now. Really nice. Great. So the next one is actually an amp we didn't heard before, and it's the Marshall Major. You heard it before, I think. So I'm going to play with the Major right now. It's the Dimed Bright, and let's see. Yeah, very nice. Has that really? What do you think when you hear the Marshall Major? What's in your mind? What do you think that's special for this amp?
Something about Richie something?
Yeah, maybe this might be the wrong guitar then. But I can hear some really nice clarity, and it really has a nice attack to the tone, if you ask me.
It has, to me, it has this really that heavy grunt and heft like that. Well, it's not surprising. It is a 200 watt amp, probably 400 watt when pushed really to the gills. But it has this, that low end and that tightness still. That's just, sets it above all other Marshalls.
Absolutely. Nice. Let's see the next one, which is the famous JCM 800, the drive balance, and let's see how this. Yeah, that's like an 800 should sound like. It's bloody great. From now on, I will also switch on the noise gate because we get more into the high gain range of Marshall tones, so I think it's nicer with some noise gate. Yeah, 800, fantastic sounding. The next one is the Silver Jubilee, and let's search this one. There we go. Let's see. It's the Drive Bright. Let's see how this sounds. Yes, guys like Slash, Bonamassa, you totally get there. That's really nice. Love it.
Your guitar face also instantly was put on.
Yeah, yeah. That's it inspires to play something like that. It's fun. The next one is, I think, the most amount of gain, or I think for the Slash fans, the biggest achievement in tone. So it's the AFD 34, the drive balance, and let's see how this sounds. I really love the aggression and the tightness of this this amp. Killer. So much fun.
Yeah, it's also interesting how you can hear how over time, literally with each next model, the sound also gets a bit more compressed, a bit more rounded and focused towards the mids, less highs, rather less lows, but even more mids and more compression.
Yeah, totally. It's really nice. So the Marshall kit offers everything you need to know and to hear. And I think it's a great learning curve for guys who are not sure which Marshall I'm searching or which ToneX pack I might need for my specific tone journey. So this might help a lot, actually.
Yeah, I agree. I hope so too, that it will be a good tool, actually.
Totally. So that was the Marshall history. Should we stack the gain up a little bit now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, all right. Let's go to the high gain amp kit. And the first one is the infamous Soldano amp. It's the overdrive gain warm cap. Let's see how this sounds. And also I will use some delay in a second. At first dry. Because I think it's a killer lead tone, so let's grab some delay and see. Yeah, man. Love it. Has that really nice kind of 80s vibe, but not really 80s. I think it's a little bit more, it's very articulate. It has some nice different mids than a Marshall and some great low end, I think. What do you think of the Soldano?
Yeah, it is, as far as I know, it is based off a Marshall at some point, but it sounds, from the signature, it sounds much more towards a modern high gain amp. Not that it has loads of gain, but you know, the quality of it is rather a bit stiffer and clearer in the mids than a typical Marshall kind of thing. It's more, you know, broader. And I actually previously struggled to get out this kind of tones out of the Soldano, and I wasn't really amazed about it, but it was of course just a learning curve thing. So
yeah, yeah,
I
absolutely.
think we got here.
We all have to learn. So let's check out the next one. It's the EV5050. It's the 100 watt stealth amp, and let's see how much gain we can get out of this thing and how it sounds. Yeah, man, really tight, aggressive, like the EVH amp sounds. So killer, no questions about it. The next one is the Mesa Boogie Mark V, really nice. Let's search it in the browser. It's the channel 3 gain fat cap, I think. Yeah, all right, let's see how this works, and I might add some reverb at some point, so let's find out. Really nice. Let's add some plate. Let's go to the neck pickup. Yeah, man. That's what I meant. I feel the transformer. It really is tight and has that nice low end punch. Great. The next one is something more modern. It's the Diezel amp, German amp builder, and let's search for gain warm, and let's see how this sounds. I will also drop D now. Let's see it. Amazing. I really love it. It has some special thing going on. Really nice.
That's actually the Adam Jones setting, more or less, so I stole it.
Feel it. Really has some Tool vibe going on. So the next one is again a Marshall, but a very modern one. It's the JVM 100, if I'm right. So let's search it right now here. There it is. search the just 1 second. OD2 gain balance, and I would let it to drop D so we can hear the difference to the Diezel maybe. You know what? Let's add some delay and some reverb because I think it's really nice. Really gets those squealing harmonics. Love it. That is something nice. Love it. Great, great. Karlis, you're doing so great captures.
The Marshall surprised me, the JVM. Actually, there's a lot of opinions about it out there, but it's really wild in the best sense of the word. It has tons of gain, and it is still quite controlled and has those searing highs that are not, brittle or unpleasant. So it's an amazing, very unique sound. Actually, it's something else.
Yeah, totally agree. The next one is also a classic one. It's the Friedman BE100, the HPE channel, gain right, also a classic one. So let's hear how they sound. Also might be a killer lead tone, so some kind of delay. Yeah, man, so much fun. That's also one thing I wanted to say, because it really has some nice feel now with the ToneX version 2. It's something special. It's really more connected. Nice.
Yeah, totally. I have the same impression. For the Friedman, it's actually by many considered to be one of the best lead amps, specifically for lead guitar. It's like predestined to do that. So could you also please do the Mesa dual rectifier, the gain fat of channel 2?
All right, so let's find out how the dual rectifier sounds. Yeah, has that really nice tight aggression, and also the bass is something that no other amp has. Would you agree with me there?
Yeah, totally. It's its own animal. There's nothing like it. And this is the Revision F, which is like especially legendary for the high gain stuff. So yeah.
Nice, fantastic. So high gain now with the version 2, definitely an adventure. Nice. So the next thing, should we maybe try some cleans now, because there was so much gain already? What do you think?
Yeah, clean or drive stuff, whatever you would like to.
Let's go to clean, and I think the Matchless HD30. So let's search this one here. Match. Yeah, there it is. And the edge fat, and let's see how this sounds. I will add some kind of reverb later, so let's find out how this sounds. Lovely. Some plate. That's a little bit too much. Get the time back. The mix a little bit down. These are the settings I like. All right, let's go. Yeah, man. Lush tones. Killer amp. Let's check out the next one, which is also something really special. It's the Matchless Independence, and this is in the Boutique Kit 3, I should say also. So let's search it. Matchless Independent, clean one, balanced, without any effects, in the middle position of the Les Paul. And let's see how this sounds. Yes, I can play for hours with this tone. Really nice. So I think that's also one of your favorites.
Oh yeah, it's a very special amp. It has for a clean channel, it has only a tone control, and it is so well balanced that you don't actually. That's one of the rare cases where you don't really need any EQ or something. It's really right there where you want it. It's amazing.
Nice, really nice. So the next one is from the Marshall kit again. It's the Super Bass 67. So let's search clean balance from the Mighty Rex, and let's see how this sounds. Yeah, has some really nice mids, not too much, not too little, the right amount, and has something really, 3D, I would say. I enjoy this.
It's extremely balanced, like one of the best balanced tones. Yeah.
Absolutely. So the next one is the Ampeg Gemini. This is from another kit. So let's search. It's the Vintage Treasures 2, Gemini, and clean. Let's clean balance. All right, let's check out how this sounds. Nice, something really different. It sounds great. The next one is the Fender. Let's search for the Fender where it is. It's in the Fender kit number 2. So let's check out something there. All right, so the next is the Fender Blackface Dual Showman. Let's see how this sounds, going for the in-between position and find out. Yeah, man. I really love this one because it has very different kind of mid-range. Really nice for those open chords. Yeah, man. Love it. Really nice.
Really is a special amp, and what you mentioned, that different mid-range, it is one of the reasons why this and the Twin Reverb are just fantastic amps for dual amp setups, because it lives in a very different frequency range, and that combines really well with especially Vox amps.
Okay, nice. So the next one is from the Fender kit number 1, and it's the V-Front Super Edge Balance. So let's see how this sounds. Especially with Les Paul, has that nice hollow tone, if you ask me. Some hollow mids or different kind of character. Enjoying this, it's nice. Alright, so the last one I wanted to show you, or we wanted to show you from the cleans, is from the Boutique kit number 2, and it's the Turok, actually the SSS Clean Balanced. So let's hear how this sounds. I will also use some plates. All right. Yeah, man, enjoying this. Really nice. Also, just without any effects, in the middle position with a Les Paul. Yes. Also sounds killer. I guess this would also work really nice with a Stratocaster, but for now let's keep the Les Paul. All right, so what else we got, Karlis?
Yeah, so what remains are like a drive setting of some various other amps that we discussed that we could showcase a bit. So there's some Tweeds, the Tweed Bassman, the Vox AC30, Matchless HC30, the classic stuff. And I found it funny that we often, when we talk about those many amp tones, that we at some point realize, wow, the Subilee Plexi is a fantastic amp. Wow, the AC30 is a fantastic amp. Wow, the Tweed Bassman, it's so good, and it's like reinventing the wheel every time. But after you've listened to so many amps and tried so many amps, you really start to learn to value those iconic things, those amps that are legends, and as it turns out, for a very good reason. There's I haven't actually encountered an amp that is legendary, that is, as sometimes people on the forums often write, it's only because it's it's so rare and that's why it's so desirable. And I haven't found an amp that isn't worth its value in regard to sound. The desirability comes from the sound mainly. Of course, who used it and everything, it's all important. But in the end, it's about sound, and those amps are just,
Yeah, and the thing also is that you learn so much. If you start out with checking out amps and stuff, it all sounds kind of similar. But when you get used to it, you really hear these subtle differences that really become huge for you as a player, because they feel a lot different. They react a little bit, not even a little bit, very much different. So you might have some inspiration from it, or some might be not your cup of tea, and the other ones you fell in love with. And sometimes you see amps where you would never thought of that you like. So it's amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right, so let's check out some drive captures then. This is from the Vintage Classic Amp kit. It's the Tweed Bassman and crunched balance cap. So let's hear how this sounds. Yes, has that really nice, not fuzzy, but it's nice. It has a great playing feel, really brokens up a little bit and kind of reminds me a little bit of Stone's feel. That's cool. Let's check out the next one from the Vintage Treasure Kit series. It's from the Vintage Treasure Kit 1, and it's the, I think this is one of your favorites also, the G19. Can you tell something about it?
Yeah, it's the whole Gibson range. Every single Gibson amp that I've tried, I find amazing. All of them are phenomenal, starting from even from the GA5, the little one. I find them to be a really good alternative to the old Fender stuff, and I find it amazing why Gibson isn't a bigger name in the amp history, because they had a lot of fantastic models. And this GA19, it's like it goes almost like into a Plexi direction, but it is a bit more brittle in some sense, but not in an unmusical sense. It has less of those mids that Marshalls have, but this also exhibits the high end and some nuances. It's like a lighter version of that a bit, but still with a lot of nice bite. So, and some slight hint of fuzz, but not too much in it. So it's not, it's not like a broken sound. So it's a really interesting mix of things. Yeah.
Nice. So let's check out this one, the G19 crunch balance, and let's see how this sounds. Also very dynamic from the picking attack. This is nice, really cool. The next one is the Vox TB30. So let's search for the Vox. We need the Vintage Classic kit. Jesus, so many great kits. It's hard for me actually to navigate through this, but I will try my best. So be patient with me, guys. It's the Crunch Balance, the Vox. We all love Voxes. So let's see how it sounds. Yes, we all love Voxes. Killer. Really nice. And also something very different than a Marshall. Has some more aggression to it, but in a kind of different way. Love it. Really nice. So the next one is from the Boutique Kit number 1. So let's search for it. Boutique Kit number 1, and it's the Matchless HD30. Let's find it. It's there. And I think it's the Drive Bright, if I'm not mistaken. And let's check out how this sounds. Yeah, I really enjoy this amp a lot because it has great clarity. If you play some really big chords, all the notes really ring to each other and you can hear everything perfectly. If you, for example, some jazzy chord like this, not something you would play in this with this kind of tone, but you really can hear every interval perfectly. And that's something I really like, the definition. So really nice amp. So the next one is the Turok OD100, and it's the lead balance, and lead screams for delay, but at first dry, and then we're gonna find out. Some kind of delay. Maybe a little less delay. Too much. All right. Yes, killer lead tones with these kind of amps. I already really like the dumble kind of character which obviously the amp has to offer. So the next one is the Hiwatt. So let's check out this one. It's in the Vintage Classic kit. So let's search for it. There it is, and it's the Crunch Balance. So let's hear how this sounds without any effects first. Yeah, has that really nice vibe. Great. Oh man, so much nice new stuff, Karlis.
Is your head burning from all the captures?
Oh yes, Jesus. It's and I'm still exciting because every tone has something unique to it, and you want to play, but I don't want to bore anyone to play too long. Just to give you a short impression what Karlis is offering us, and also what ToneX version 2 is offering us.
What I find amazing about even ToneX original version was that it really captures each amp's essence. Like it really totally convincingly gives you that character. It's not like a caricature of that. It's really like a very convincing impression. And version 2 is, of course, again, just a little bit more of everything towards a more accurate representation. So it's really at a point where it's, you know, each time when you switch to the amp, there's, if you know the amps, you have no question what you're playing. You know from the sound. There's, yeah.
Yes, best times. Best times, totally.
So, okay, it was, of course, a lot of stuff in a short time, but from what we went through, what are the standouts for you? What you enjoyed most?
What I enjoyed most? That's not easy, actually. I think, for me personally, as a Marshall guy, really the Super Lead 100 really stood out for me personally. I loved the Silver Jubilee also. I really also loved the Matchless Independence, the HD30, especially the Crunch one, the Drive Bright I enjoyed because it really has some articulate tone. When you play complex chords, every note really rings out fantastic. So I guess you could trim this amp into a great high gain beast with the right pedal. Has so much definition.
Yeah, actually, in the initial efforts when I captured the amp, I wasn't that fond of it. I was underwhelmed because, you know, it's like one of the most lauded amps out there. And what I realized later on is that one of the tricks to get really great sounds of it is just lowering the master volume, which is not something that I would usually do in those, you know, low gain or mid gain amps. But for this amp with the EL84 output stage, that's a big part of the trick, because you need to shave off some of the signal that hits the tubes too hard, and then they get a bit brash, and you know, and it's if you do it right, it's really a fantastic amp. It's now become one of, or maybe the favorite Matchless amp for me, which is again reinventing the wheel, right? The most classic Matchless amp turns out to be one of the favorites. Wow.
Yes. And it's so, I mean, you captured so many amps, and I mean, your ears get better all the time. We can hear this with the new captures and also the old captures, that there is also a process of learning about amps and how to dial them in, how to find really the sweet spots. I think that's a big learning curve for you also, right?
Yeah, sure. That never ends. Yeah, I think it would be a bad sign if you start to think that you cannot improve. So hopefully that doesn't end.
Yes.
I remember you were really fond of the car Mercury, and we didn't include it.
Yes.
And you especially liked it with the Strat, which we also, and this time, because of so many captures to show, we didn't include. So maybe we could do that.
Oh, totally. Yeah, let's grab the Strat. Let's increase the input a tiny bit. All right, so the car Mercury, let's go to the drive first without any effects, and let's see how this sounds. Let's put in some tape and some kind of plate. The mouse is giving up here. All right, and let's see. If you ask me for the favorite one, and this definitely belongs to one of the favorite, especially with the Stratocaster. It's so nice because it has some kind of Marshall Fender vibe in it, but with its own twist. And I really enjoy this. A very character tone, if you ask me.
Yeah, I feel in a similar way, because it's like one of those rare cases where an amp combines various like traditions that melds so organically together that it's its own thing, and it's not like one of those cases where it's so new and different that it already sounds like a bit off. It's still like classic and you know, right where you would like the sound to be, but really unique and complex, but not, you know, overly bloated or whatever. It's like really great. Great.
Yes, and also it feels so nice to play. I mean, I guess there's some kind of compression to it, but in a good way.
Yeah. It's actually a very compressed sound, but as you say, very musical and yeah.
A lot of fun to play. Feels easy to play, actually.
Okay.
Nice.
Thank you very much for your time and your effort.
Mate, it's been a pleasure, because we work together so close and so much, so it's a lot of fun. And the evolution of tone, it's nice. It's great.
We're fun. Not that close actually, because you're 1,200, 300 or whatever kilometers away.
Yeah, we never met in person actually.
Funny enough. But funny enough that thanks to ToneX and other tools like this, something like that is possible, that we just can send each other tones to check out, and quite amazing.
It even connects people, so that's a great thing.
Yeah. ToneX connecting people.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, it's taken. Oh, yeah, that was Nokia. Okay, Fabian, thank you very much. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Thank you so much. Guys, enjoy the ToneX version 2. Check out the kit versions and everything in the future from Amalgam Audio, because you can't go wrong with it. And dial in the tone, play guitar, and enjoy. Bye-bye.
So yeah, this was quite a wild ride with a lot of different tones to go through. I hope it gives you a good impression of what to expect from ToneX version 2 and what to expect from the collections that we prepared for this release. So they are available as of now at the time of the release of ToneX version 2 on the ToneNET store. They will be also later available directly on our website, but for the time being they're exclusive to ToneNET. So I hope you'll give them a try, and that they'll be as inspiring to you as they are to me and Fabian. I sincerely think there's a lot of tones here that contain songs, basically. It's really inspiring stuff. So I really hope a lot of you will turn some of this into your own music, and that's an idea that I really like about the stuff that we're doing here. So have fun with the tones on ToneX version 2. Like and subscribe if you like what we're doing here, and see you in the next video.